Hey, my name is Matt with Advanced Septic Inspections. Today I'll be explaining what we do to actually inspect a system, typically for a home sale, for the on-lot wastewater system. We start off in the basement of the home by tracing all the plumbing out to the system to make sure there's only one system on the property, and so that we can determine what actually flows into that system. Now, if you'll see here, this is what's called the main waste line leaving the home. This is where all the wastewater in the home, from the toilets, the showers, the sinks, the washing machine, all flow out to the actual septic system itself. What we do is we'll come in and actually trace the lines out, see what runs into it. As you can see, there's more pipes running into the system right here. Continues flowing down towards the end of the house. You can see there's more plumbing coming in right here that runs out. And then this is where the piping actually runs out to the septic system itself. So if you didn't know where the septic was, we could open this cap and actually run the camera out and locate where the tank is before we started digging outside. If you ever had a blockage or some sort of issue inside, they could open that up to actually stake it out. Okay, so here we have the main treatment tank. This is where all the solids and the waste from the home flow into, where everything separates. What we're looking for in the treatment tank is right here. This is where the line actually runs into the tank. In this system, there's what's called an inlet baffle. Basically, it directs all the solids from the house to the base of the tank so everything can separate properly. In this system, it's actually a plastic hoop baffle. Basically just one of the more modern ways of doing things. The older systems, a lot of them are concrete. Once they go bad, they're mainly replaced with PVC pieces. Then you don't have to worry about them deteriorating in the future. So what we're checking in the tank is we want the liquid to be, this is what's called normal operating level. And then on this side of the tank, this is where the pipe actually leaves. This is what's called the outlet baffle. Basically, it keeps any of the floating solids from running out into the actual absorption area. So what we do from here is we open it up, and we'll visually inspect it. A little later on, we have a pumper coming to pump out the liquid so we can actually get a better look at the interior of the tank. So from here, what we do is we open up the outlet line and then run a camera out to find the next component in the system, which I'm going to do right now. Alright, so the liquid from the treatment tank itself leaves through a 4-inch PVC pipe, which runs out to your distribution box. Basically, a distribution box is a way of connecting the solid pipe from the tank to the perforated pipes that run out through the absorption area. That's where the liquid actually drains back down to the ground. Now, we located the box by running the camera out, which tells us exactly where it is. At which point we expose the lid, open the box, and then we start to inspect it. Now, as you can see with this box, the side of the box itself had actually started to cave in. Now, that would have to be addressed moving forward. Likely the only way that they could fix that is to actually replace the distribution box. So from here, what we're going to do is run the camera down all the lines to see where the field itself is actually situated, and to make sure that everything's draining properly, there's no roots in the system, there's no cracked pipes or anything like that. Okay, so from here, what I'm going to do is locate the end of each trench and actually make probe holes into the stone to make sure everything's draining properly. We do that by running the camera out and then using the locator to actually find the end of the camera. So this is where the lateral actually ends. So what I'm going to do is make a probe hole next to the pipe so I can check the liquid level in the stone. Basically the idea is that you want the liquid to run through the pipe, out into the stone, and then drain back down into the ground. Here you can see that the stone is still nice and dry, so it tells you that everything's draining the way that it's supposed to. Alright, so what we did is we located the end of each one of the laterals with the camera, made probe holes down in the crushed stone. This system, everything came up nice and dry, so what we're going to do now is run a little bit of liquid through the system to make sure everything drains out properly. If we had made these probe holes and we found liquid in the stone, what we would do is actually take measurements in the stone to see how much dry stone to how much liquid there is, and then from there we would determine how to move forward actually testing the rest of the system. So here what we're going to do is start running some water, make sure it drains, and then from there we're almost done. So at this point the treatment tank has been pumped out so we can get a good look at everything below the liquid level. So what Tristan is doing is he's got a mirror and a flashlight so he can check the top of the tank and the walls to see if there's any cracks, any sort of deterioration, any sort of root intrusion. This tank itself looks to be in pretty good shape. So to recap, we start off inside the home, track the waste line out to determine what fixtures are in the home, how many systems are on the property and where those systems are located, at which point we'll go outside, expose to the treatment tank so we can visually inspect the liquid level, the inlet and the outlet baffles. From there we run the camera through the conveyance line to locate the distribution box, and we'll dig that up. That way we can get the camera into the system to locate the absorption area and determine how it's functioning. And that's how we perform an open pit inspection of a septic system. Please call ASI for all of your inspection needs.